Good morning again, YouTube. Welcome to AASMR. As usual, my name is Irrelevant, and I'm an alcoholic. Other than, the whole channel is basically meant to help people with addiction, through addiction, in different ways. And so far I've just kind of been talking on different subjects, different processes in healing and forgiving yourself, and for the most part it's a lot of I guess more the deeper stuff, the harder work, but I also want to make some videos that are just kind of like some of the fun part. Sobriety's not all just hard work every single day. One of the ways that I keep my mind busy, I've always really loved movies and comic books and music, and even video games a little bit. Definitely gonna do, this one will be on movies, but definitely gonna do music and comic books and books, reading, and maybe even some video game stuff. I don't know how that'll work exactly, but this one's more of just kind of like a review, I guess, on some movies and stuff I've been watching, and a few movies that I'm looking forward to. I picked 3 that I'm looking forward to that are coming out. I should have looked up when they're coming out. Anyway, so right now I've always been, for whatever reason, kind of a big horror fan, and starting in about August, pretty much every year, I basically only watch horror movies. So there will be a lot of horror movies, or TV shows. A couple TV shows on this list, anyway. I do have at least like one comedy, couple. Anyway, so I'm gonna get started. So some of the horror movies that I've been watching for my spook season. Like I said, I start usually in August. This year I actually started in early August, like basically August 1st. So I'll go through September, all the way through Halloween. And I'm just watching a lot of horror classics, horror movies that I like, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, let's start off. Let's start off with Scream. So far I've watched the first 2. The first 3 are streaming on HBO right now, and the 4th one is on Stars. I like, these people probably can hear her better than me right now. There's some people walking on the ditch. Anyway, so I watched the first 2 so far, and Scream is just one of those series. If you've heard of movies in general, you're pretty sure you've probably heard of Scream. One of the more well-known horror franchises pretty much ever created. And Scream was the first one anyway. It scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. It's kind of just always stuck with me, and they're just interesting, really well made, kind of fun satires on the horror genre, while also being pretty solid horror flicks in general. My favorite's obviously probably the first one, but I also really like the 4th one. 3 is okay, and 2 is pretty good, but 1 and 4 are my favorites. And then from there, let's see, another franchise. Let's see, I watched all the Hostels. Those are another, I think I really watched the first one just because it was said produced or brought to you by Quentin Tarantino, something like that. And I love Tarantino, so course, I watched it and found out it's not directed by Tarantino. It's actually directed by Eli Roth. And it's kind of one of those, it's one of those movies that brought on like that torture porn genre that's became kind of famous. Not so much anymore, but in the 2000s after like Saw, Hostel. I guess those are the two big ones, man. Off the top of my head, what are some more like torture porn movies? Oh man, High Tension. I don't know, like maybe Hard Candy would be maybe one of those. A lot of like foreign, like Human Centipede. That's a big one. And I'm pretty sure those are foreign movies. I think Tom Six is from UK, or is he Dutch? I don't know. Anyway, but so the first two Hostels are on Peacock, I think, and then the third one's on Netflix. Rating the movies, the movies are an interesting concept, executed in an interesting way. They're not really necessarily the best movies. I like the second one, kind of diving into the nature of this company or this business that murders, that it provides people the option to murder people, and it kind of dives into the psyche of the people actually paying to murder people, which I thought was interesting. I don't really know why, but anyway. So yeah, Hostel, not for the faint of heart. Those movies aren't exactly easy to watch. Kind of cringy, or they're very brutal. Anyway, moving on. Some other franchise type stuff. I at least started the first Nightmare movie. That one's on Peacock. I think they have the remake as well, and maybe like the first like 4 or 5 of the originals on Peacock. I liked the remake for the most part. I thought, what's the guy's name? The guy that plays Rorschach in Watchmen. Something not Haley Joel Osment. God, I can't think of the guy's name. Anyway, I thought he was a pretty good Freddy. Kind of died. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to rewatch it. But the first one is okay. Not a huge Nightmare fan, but I do like the concept, and I do consider the Nightmare movies classics, of course, and so I always watch at least the first one or the remake during Halloween season, typically. Another one, Friday, obviously, Friday the 13th. There was a Friday the 13th just, it's just this past month, August. It was just like last week or a few weeks ago. And I watched the remake. I actually prefer the remake. Honestly, the first one is, it's a classic. It's okay. But Jason's not in it, and Jason's mom is an interesting enough villain, I guess. But yeah, Jason's not in it. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen them. But Jason does come in the second one, but he doesn't even have his mask. Don't like that. And the third one, I don't know if I've ever actually finished the third Friday movie, but that's where he does get his hockey mask. But like I said, I don't know if I've finished it. And then after that, I don't know. The fourth one was pretty good. Jason X was stupid but tolerable, I guess. I haven't seen a lot of the other ones. I don't think I've seen Manhattan, the 8th one, or even 6 or 7. No, I think I've seen Goes to Hell. I don't remember which one that is, but anyway, so I like the remake. They kind of mashed together like the first 3 movies into one movie, which is kind of cool. And it's just a good campy time. Jason doing his thing, Anyway, and that one's on HBO. Another franchise movie, Candyman. the new one looks interesting. I've always heard the original's good. I never watched it. I don't really know why. And I still haven't finished it. I watched most of it and passed out within the last like probably 20-30 minutes. Yeah, it was a long week. I was pretty tired, but it was good. I enjoyed it. It was interesting. I like how they give the Candyman a pretty solid background story, even just in that first one. That one's on Peacock. I don't have a whole lot to say about it quite yet. Like I said, I guess I do know how it ends, because I kind of woke up when it ended, and my girlfriend kind of I think she told me what happens. I don't know. I'm gonna go back and watch it anyway. Let's see, let's get out of horror for a bit. A comedy movie we just watched on Hulu. It has, God, I need to look up the actors' names. The only one I recognize is John Cena, just because I grew up watching him wrestle. But it's called Vacation Friends. I don't know if I just said that already, but it's on Hulu. It's pretty funny. We really enjoyed it a lot. It's funny. It's sweet. At times has a sweet ending. Yes, I don't really want to give anything away, go into any details or anything, but the title gives it away, Vacation Friends. The group of friends that you meet on a vacation, or just the people you meet on vacation, that you bond with for a little bit, and this one goes a little haywire, but it's funny. Yeah, so Vacation Friends on Hulu. What else? Another HBO one, Suicide Squad. I know a lot of people are probably hesitant on watching that one just because they maybe didn't like the first one, or just don't like the DC in general, but Suicide Squad was a pleasant surprise. I'm gonna get out of this chair for a bit. Go over here. Let's get out and go into the open. See some of the stuff outside. It's a Suicide Squad. It's pretty good. Just a lot different. The guy that directed Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn, he did it, and I thought it was pretty refreshing. It's a fun movie. Yeah, probably, like I said, it's already at 12 minutes. I'm gonna keep this kind of short and sweet-ish. Maybe shoot for 20-ish. All right, what else we got? Suicide Squad. I don't know if any of you are fans of American Horror Story. I know the last the last 6 years or so have been pretty hit or miss for that one, but the new one is actually shaping up to be pretty good. I am enjoying it so far. It's about a writer who moves to this small town, and he ends up spiraling out of control with this, I don't want to give too much away, but it's this I don't know, chemical pill that helps with writer's block, and I'll just kind of leave it at that. But yeah, it's shaping up to be pretty good. If any of you are AHS fans, it has a lot of the actors everybody kind of likes. Like Sarah Paulson's in it, Evan Peters, Finn Wittrock, Lily Rabe's back. So anyway, another. Man, I'm almost done with all the ones. Here's a good one. It's a movie that I have not seen in being promoted at all. I had no idea about this until I watched Possessed by Horror. It's a horror channel I watch on YouTube. Go check her out. She has some good content. Yeah, she I wouldn't say maybe she suggested so much, but she definitely got me intrigued with her review. on it, and it's about I guess she's like a nurse in kind of like a rest home situation. This lady, she's taking care of this lady, and she regains her faith in Catholicism. I think it's Roman Catholic is what she turns to, and yeah, just go watch it. It's a movie from it's on Epix. Oh, I don't know if I last American Horror Story, that's on Hulu. If you don't, if you're not on, don't have cable and FX or whatever. But Saint Maud, that one is on Epix. You do a free trial, I think, for like 7 days right now. If you don't want to subscribe to it, but yeah, Saint Maud. That is just go watch it if you like the A24 type horror. The Midsommers, the Hereditaries. God, I think it wasn't The Witch, maybe produced by A24. They just did, I guess that's not really horror, but they just did that Green Knight movie. Their most famous, though, is probably Hereditary. That's what most people, or maybe Uncut Gems. That one, it's not horror, but it's one of the movies that A24 produced that got pretty big. But yeah, the A24 does some good stuff, so check out Saint Maud. And last in the new stuff we've been watching, What We Do in the Shadows. The movie is it's created by Taika Waititi, the guy that I don't know if any of you have seen Jojo Rabbit. That's a really good one, or the Hunt for the Wildebeests, or something like that. With God, I think it has maybe isn't Nick Offerman and the kid from Deadpool 2. I just know him as the kid from Deadpool 2. That's a good one. Of course, he did Thor Ragnarok. But What We Do in the Shadows is about this group of vampires living in modern day society. And so Taika Waititi did the movie. He plays one of the vampires in the movie, and then he created a TV show on Hulu. Actually, I think it's on FX and next day on Hulu or whatever that thing they do. And oh my God, we love it. It is so good. Just take my word for it and go check that one out. God, how can I describe it? I always kind of say like it's a mixture of like maybe The Office and like Sunny. I think somebody described it as that, and that's pretty much the perfect way to put it. It might have been possessed by horror. Maybe she might have been the one that had said that, and that kind of stuck with me. Anyway, so yeah, What We Do in the Shadows. And then real quick in the video, last couple of minutes, some movies that I'm looking forward to. We got Malignant, the new James Wan. He hasn't done a horror movie in a while, and he's pretty famous for Saw. It's probably what he's most known for. Maybe The Conjuring, those two. More recently, he's directed Fast or Furious 7, whatever that one was, a few years back, and Aquaman. Of course, Aquaman was pretty big, but as far as horror, he created Saw, Insidious, Conjuring, Dead Silence. I thought was pretty good, but never got a sequel or anything. Anyway, so yeah, Malignant is his new one. It looks pretty good. I'm excited about that. Another one, that one will be on HBO. It's one of those same-day streaming ones. Another HBO one, Dune. I actually started the original. Another good concept, maybe a little ahead of its time, and didn't quite have the necessary technology to execute quite what they were going for. But I'll have to finish that one, and I'm looking forward to the remake. And then I don't know why I didn't know this earlier, but Scream 5 is coming out in January. Actually, I think on my birthday, so that's pretty cool. I always, love when one of those movies or franchises that I kind of grew up with comes out with you know, I mean, hey, Dandy, what are you doing, buddy? He's probably trying to eat poop. Anyway, yeah, I always kind of like when those franchises I grew up with come out with something new, and you know, I was of course stoked for Scream 4 and ended up loving it, so I am very excited for Scream 5. And yeah, so that's my list. And again, you know, trying something a little different with not just talking about, like I said, all the heavy stuff, working on yourself and forgiving yourself, and learning to resist temptation, all that type of jazz that I have addressed in earlier videos. And so yeah, maybe in my next one I will do maybe some comic books, or maybe I'll bust out some of my comic books. And I don't own any of these movies. It's all on streaming, so it's annoying. But I have a cool comic book collection that I'm somewhat still building. But I think it's pretty cool. Not huge, but anyway. Again, this is the AASMR sessions. Peace out. Deuces.